In this video, I'm going to review the Vi website, stack it against the competition, and hopefully inspire you to create better web designs and make more money by selling higher quality websites. So if you want to know whether this website passes my truly professional website test assessment, make sure you watch until the end when I will reveal its grade and income potential. Hello, I'm your host Kaycinho, I'm the Digital Alchemist, and in this new series, the goal here is not to focus on flashy websites that require an army of designers and developers to build. Nope. But instead, the idea is to focus on one website design that could be created by one single person or by a very small team. And this in order to inspire you and help you assess the quality and potential income of a website. So today I'm going to focus on the Vi website. Or maybe you pronounce it Vey, I have no idea. So I found this website as a nominee on the awards website, and it's this one right here. And just so we're on the same page, here's how I'm going to proceed. I will assess this website over 4 topics. First impressions, identity, content, and technical. Each topic will be noted on 5 points, and the final assessment will be noted on 20 points. Now, please note that this is my subjective assessment and not the universal truth, but I've been creating websites for a living for many years, and I have quite some experience doing that. So let's start with the first impressions that can be broken down into desktop, mobile, tablet, and versus the competition. Okay, and starting with the desktop first impressions, as the name says, it's the first impression you get when you land on the website. And for me, the first impression was good. It was not wow, but it was like, hey, this is nice. Now, usually I don't like to have a video in the background because it really distracts you from what the people who build the website wanted you to take as an action. But here they have this button here, join the journey, and then you get out of there, and I think it works fine. Now, here, when you click on next, I was expecting to go to the next section, but actually it's just changing the illustration here. Now, for the rest, it's super clean. Not a super fan of the color palette, but we'll come back to this in a moment. But it works well. It's not because I'm not a fan of something that it's not good. I'm just saying. But for the rest, super clean, and you got these controls where you can go horizontally. All in all, the first impression for me is really good. I love those clean lines here. I mean, if you know anything about the channel, you know that this is what I like. So some things I prefer than others, but for the rest, I think it really works well on the desktop. It really feels as a super modern website. And next onto the tablet version. And the tablet version is just as the desktop version. It works really well. You can change the language. Well, basically nothing really changes, but what I like is that I don't feel like I'm on a poor version. Like the the desktop should be like the main version, and then I have poor version for the tablet. Even though we know tablet, the percentage is not that huge, but all in all, a very nice tablet website. And next, let's take a look at the mobile version. So my first impression was also really good. As I said, it feels like a really modern website. And as you scroll down, you can see that the horizontally scrolling mechanism really work well here on the mobile. I'm not a super fan of these really rounded images, but hey, that's personal taste. For the rest, I like this, what we believe in. And then it's a toggle, with a blurry image on the background. It works really well on the mobile. And once again, those horizontally scrolling features. So all in all, a very nice version on the mobile. We'll take a look at some of the specifics later, but yeah, I really like this website on the mobile. So how does it compare against the competition? Well, I went onto Google and opened a few pages like this one, which is pretty generic looking. This one looks really like the corporate cliche. Bosch is better than the rest, but still not as modern as Vey. Same thing for Volkswagen. Very corporate cliche. This one tried to make it more modern, but I find it weird, the big border radius and then the square angles, but that's personal taste. This one looks rather generic, even though it's more modern than many of the ones I showed you. This one actually looks better than what we just saw. Maybe a website to review in the future. So basically, when you compare it to Vey looks way more modern in my opinion. So for all these reasons, for the first impressions, I'm going to give it a grade of 4 out of 5. Okay, next let's move on to the identity, which can be broken down into the logo, the colors, the fonts, and the style versus the target. Okay, I'm starting with the logo here on top, Well, if you know anything about my channel, you know that I love typographic logos, and this one is pretty beautiful in my opinion. I just love the font. And I think it works really well with the atmosphere that they try to create with the rest of the identity. We'll talk about that in a moment. So all in all, a very good logo for Vey. Or is it Vi? I think it's Vey because it's a German company. I think it's like when a German pronounce way, Vey. Okay, next let's talk about the color palette. And I'm a bit confused here because when you click on the video and you see their cars and the livery, it looks really different from what we see on the website. So let me show you. As you can see here, it looks really different. Now, it also feels to me that they're trying to target more of a female target. I may be totally wrong because I think they want to sell to everybody, but when I look at the colors and the round corners, it really feels more female to me. I may be wrong. Let me know what you think in the comments. But the color palette itself works really well together, I think. It's not my favorite, but once again, I'm trying to put my personal preference aside here. The color palette works well with what they try to build, and that's the most important. Next, let's talk about the fonts. And as you may know, it's recommended to have a maximum of 3 fonts. 2 is better, but here they're using just 1 font with different variations. So this one is reported medium, medium. I'm sure I saw some other ones. Oh, regular. Here we got regular, and I'm pretty sure there's a gigantic one somewhere. Let me go back. But all in all, it's the same font all over the place. Okay, regular. So it works really well because it's consistent throughout the website and it's a nice looking font. Okay, next let's talk about the style versus the target, and I briefly touched on this a few moments ago. But to me, it feels like, once again, they're trying to appeal to a more female audience. And I may be wrong, but you know, when you work in this industry, you know that some types of designs really appeal more to one type of people. Some are neutral. It really depends. Here, to me, when I look at the website, it feels like, yeah, it's more geared towards a female audience. But when I look at the livery of the car, it's the opposite. So maybe they're trying to put everything together. So I'm trying to understand, is it disruption they're trying to do, or is it just, you know, someone who liked that color palette? It's hard to know. So it works well, but I have a hard time finding the positioning of the brand. But still, the color palette works well. So all in all, when I think about the logo, the colors, the font, the whole thing, the identity is a solid identity. So for all these reasons, for the identity, I'm going to give it a grade of 4 out of 5. Okay, next, let's move on to the content topic, which can be broken down into navigation, quantity, quality, and funnel. Okay, and starting with navigation in the top right corner, as you can see, we got this beautiful off-canvas navigation, and it's only got 5 elements, which is great because it's always advised with a maximum of 7 elements. Why? Just because short-term memory only has like 7 slots. So don't ask me why, but that's the way it works. So it doesn't mean you should have 7 elements, the less is better, and here they got 5 elements. So very clean navigation, beautiful canvas, off-canvas navigation. But I was expecting, first of all, can you hear this? It's the escape key of my keyboard and nothing happens. So I'm sorry, but for me, good usability, people are used to this, so it's really frustrating when it doesn't work. Plus, the off-canvas is all the way on the left-hand side, and I need to click here on the cross to close it on the right-hand side. So I'm not sure it's the right choice to put it here on the left-hand side on the desktop. Now on tablet and mobile, it's going to be different because of the narrow screen real estate. So it's less of a trouble, and even less with the mobile because here it's taking the full screen. Okay, I forgot to mention that there's no home button. Now, it's always a big debate. Do you add a home button in your websites? Please let me know in the comments. Okay, next let's talk about the quantity of the content. And it looks like there's nothing on the website with only 5 pages, but that's wrong because when you get on the journal, for example, the blog, there are a few articles that you can go through. Same thing when you go to careers, when you go to the other pages. So it looks like there's not much content, but there is a lot of content, and that's the beauty of it, because you don't want to have a website that looks really crammed with stuff and that makes people want to go away. No, you want to show them here's the important stuff, and then you can dig deeper if you want. So all in all, it works really well in that perspective. Next, about the quality of the content. So you saw the video, and when we click on it, it's got a beautiful video. Now, the quality, the resolution itself is downgraded because, hey, this is the web and you're not going to put 4K video starting, but the quality of the production is really great. Same thing for the pictures. So as we scroll down, they also got some galleries. And all in all, it's a very, very good quality throughout the website. So very consistent. Next, let's talk about the funnels on this website. Well, you can't really find a funnel, but I think that's for a good reason. I think they are not in business yet, because when you scroll all the way to the bottom, it says join the waiting list or send us a message. If you want to submit a message, maybe you want to know more about their service. And as you can see, there's a horizontally scrolling text in the background, but more about that later. But for the rest, that's the only call to action you find. And like I said, it's because for the moment, they're not in business. So in this case, they are forgiven. So for all these reasons, for the content, I'm going to give it a grade of 3.5 out of 5. Now, I was going to give it a 4 out of 5, but because of the issues with the navigation, I had to give it this grade. Okay, next let's move on to the technical side of things, which can be broken down into speed, dynamism, interactions, and the use of trends. Okay, starting with the speed of the website, let me show you. Let me click on careers. As you can see, it's not the fastest of website, but it's not slow either. It's really just like the website we reviewed in the previous episode. It's not slow, it's not fast. It's right in the middle and it works well. I never felt frustrated while being on the website. Also, it depends where you are on the planet. Obviously, they are targeting a local population, and I'm 10,000 kilometers away from Germany. So my guess is that when you're in Germany, this website must be pretty fast. But it doesn't make sense to have the website super fast for all of the earth. Next, dynamism, and I'm using this for a lack of a better term, as I told you in the previous videos, but basically it's answering the question, does this website feel flat, like nothing's happening? And quite on the contrary, as you can see here, we got the horizontally scrolling text. And let me go back. If we go back to the homepage itself has got the video here, and here we got also an illustration. That's just an animation, and when you click it, just go to the next frame. But it doesn't feel like it's a flat website. As you can see, some really subtle animations here that are really easy to do with many of the theme builders if you're using WordPress, or with JavaScript if you are hand coding. So all in all, it does feel dynamic. It doesn't feel like it's flat. Next, interaction. So as you can see, we got this little bubble here, and when I click, I got the video to play, and then it says close video. I click again and it stops the video. Also, as I showed you, we got this horizontally scrolling kind of menu or content, and here also you can just go left and right. So that works well, and you got those little micro interactions that really make it, a nice website to browse. Okay, next let's talk about the use of trends. And as you can see, they use the gigantic font, which is really a current trend. It's been going on for 2 or 3 years. They got this bubble on the homepage. We'll see that in a moment. And as I scroll, as you can see, everything is gigantic, looking really modern. So here on the homepage, for example, you can see this bubble following the mouse, and it's the play video and close video, also one of the trends. But what I like about it is that they use it, but not all of the trends, because some of those trends are ugly. I must say, some of the new trends are really, really ugly. So, they have a really clean website and they use some of the good trends. So for all these reasons, for technical, I'm going to give it a grade of 4 out of 5. So at the time of reviewing this website, when we add all the grades, we get a global grade of 15.5 out of 5, which is a good grade, knowing that I consider anything 14 and above a professional website that you can sell for a higher than average price. Okay, now let's talk about income potential. Now, a little disclaimer here. When we talk about income potential, of course, where you live really matters. Do you live in Switzerland or in Bangladesh, in the United States of America or in Romania? But if you factor in the super clean design, the strong identity, and the quality of the content, you could sell this website between 5 and 25K depending on your sales skills and whether or not you outsource the photo and video production as well as illustrations. Here I'm talking in dollars, or it could be euro depending on the conversion rate. But don't forget, some people would never be able to sell this website for more than 500 bucks. Not with the same quality, of course, but they wouldn't be able to sell more than 500 bucks, while others would sell it for a minimum of 100K. So it really depends on your sales skills. And like we saw a moment ago, it also depends on your location, because $5,000 isn't the same thing in Los Angeles and in Bangkok. That's the hard truth. But I'm just giving you an average income potential. Now, of course, whether you create this website in 6 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, or a year is also going to determine if it's profitable or not. But let's say that this website did cost between 5K and 25K. Well, my guess is that the company would be more than happy with it, especially when you stack it against the competition. Now, how would I build it? Well, it doesn't really matter if you outsource the development, hand code it yourself, or use WordPress. Clients only care about end results and return on investment. Now, personally, I think I could build something similar with WordPress, Elementor Pro, affiliate link in the description, plus probably Jet Engine and WP Rockets, just to give you an idea of the main plugins I would be using. But of course, you could build this with Bricks, with Gutenberg, or with the builder that you are most efficient with. At the end of the day, they're just tools. What matters is the end result. Okay, so today we reviewed an autonomous driving company's website. But which type of industry's website would you like me to review next? Please let me know in the comments. Now, if you like this horizontally scrolling text effect, or maybe this bubble following the mouse, or maybe this off-canvas navigation. Well, if you're using WordPress and Elementor to build websites, you'll find plenty of tutorials covering these here on the channel, and I'll link those in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video and my work, please give it a thumbs up, because it's really gonna help the channel and it doesn't cost you a dime. And if you want more web design goodness, consider subscribing and smashing the notification bell so that you don't miss anything. I hope that this video will help you become a better web designer and sell higher end websites. So I'll see you in the next one, and don't forget, I'm trying to build the content I wish I had when I got started. So I'll see you in the next one, and until then, take care and stay safe. Cut.